9 signs of spiritual attack. In Christian theology, a spiritual attack is often understood as a form of temptation or oppression inflicted by demonic forces or the devil. Number 1. Excessive temptation. Persistent, intense temptation to sin, especially in ways that one is usually able to resist, can be seen as a sign of spiritual attack. 1 Corinthians 10:13. Number 2. Feelings of despair or hopelessness. Experiencing overwhelming despair or a sense of hopelessness, particularly when these feelings lead one away from faith, can be indicative of a spiritual attack. Psalm 42:11. Number 3. Physical exhaustion or weakness. Unexplained physical fatigue or weakness, especially when it interferes with one's faith practice or occurs in the absence of physical causes, is sometimes interpreted as a sign of spiritual attack. Matthew 26:41. Number 4. Spiritual apathy. A sudden or intense loss of interest in spiritual practices, such as prayer, worship, or reading the Bible, can be a sign. Revelation 2:4. Number 5. Doubts about faith and God's goodness. Experiencing overwhelming doubts about one's faith, God's love, or the goodness of God can be interpreted as a spiritual attack. Ephesians 6:16. Number 6. Confusion and lack of mental clarity. Persistent confusion or lack of clarity about spiritual matters, especially when it disrupts one's relationship with God, can be seen as a sign. 1 Corinthians 14:33. Number 7. Relationship strife. Increased conflict and strife in relationships, particularly within a Christian community, can sometimes be interpreted as a result of spiritual attack. Ephesians 4:26-27. Number 8. Oppressive feelings of guilt or shame. Excessive or irrational feelings of guilt or shame, particularly when they drive one away from seeking forgiveness and reconciliation with God, can be a sign. Romans 8:1. Number 9. Attacks on one's health. While not always sudden or unexplained health issues, particularly when they coincide with a significant spiritual endeavor or growth, are sometimes seen as a form of spiritual attack. Job 2.7. It's important to note that these signs are subject to individual interpretation and should be approached with discernment. Christians are often encouraged to seek support from their faith community, engage in prayer, and rely on scriptural promises when they feel they are under spiritual attack. Additionally, practical considerations like medical advice should also be sought for issues like health problems or persistent emotional distress. Drop an amen if you agree. You may want to save this video for later and pass it to your friends who need it. God bless.